Welcome to ComicCast issue number 185, brought to you by Dwayne's World Comics and Games, 457 East Sullivan Street in Kingsport, Tennessee. They carry comic books, graphic novels, statues, toys, and gaming merchandise, including miniature games, board games, and RPGs. Check them out, Dwayne's World Comics and Games, Kingsport, Tennessee. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Adam Wade Adams, Canada.
And this is Gaumer.
We're at, yeah, it's just the three of us. We're at ComicCast Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, wherever you get social with your media. You can catch the VIP Patreon exclusive pre-show, patreon.com/ComicCastPod. We're joined by a special guest, another Ryland Grant friend. A friend of Ryland is a friend of ours, Tony Fabro. Welcome.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
You are, well, we're going to get into it. 3-Panel Crimes, that's your deal on Instagram. The links are in the description, guys. I want you to check it out. We're going to be looking at some of that here in a little bit, but you're on ComicCast, and we have the hard-hitting questions. Gaumer?
Oh, is it my turn to ask the question?
Yeah, go ahead and hit him with this. Look at that.
Oh, look at you spending all the money.
Bam.
All right, there are no wrong answers to this question, but we ask everyone, what is your favorite Rocky movie? Boom. Thank you. A little late on that, Boog. It's fine.
Sorry.
I've never seen him.
Oh, no!
There's no wrong answer.
Oh, yeah, that's a wrong answer. That's a wrong answer.
There's no wrong ansers.
You
should watch the Rocky movies.
We should just end the podcast.
In order. Watch them in order.
All
right. They're great. It's about
I can't believe this has happened.
Inside yourself.
Have you seen Creed?
No.
Okay.
You've never seen Rock? My wife kept telling me one day somebody's going to say I've never seen it. I'm like, everybody's seen Rocky.
Adrian's Revenge. You'll.
I'm sure. Man,
the live chat's filling up.
We
got Venomized Ryan hanging out. Gaumer says hey, of course. Comic Book Bob's here. Yule Carter's here, guys. Smash the like button. Share out the link. So, what kind of movies are you into? If you're not, are you not a sports guy? Not a boxing guy?
I like horror and I like crime.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the best crime movie? What are you watching?
Yeah, what's your top list there for horror and crime? Are you more like a classic slasher, or do you like more the cerebral, like the new stuff? What about that new Saw movie? You see the trailer for that? That looks rad. That looks like it's both crime. The new Saw trailer looks like it's both crime and horror. Yeah, it looks good.
There was did you guys ever get into any, like the South Korean stuff?
Ooh, no. I mean, it's getting more popular now though than ever.
Well, yeah, because like Parasite won.
Yeah.
He did a movie called Mother, and that was that was an insane fuck. It's like horror and crime at the same time, and it's like her son, who's like he's disabled or whatever, and he gets suspected of like a murder, and she's trying to prove that he didn't do it by like basically breaking in to this other suspect's house and like playing detective and shit.
Oh, wow.
Cool. It gets gnarly. So stuff like that, like
like anytime an American horror movie comes out and I know it's a remake of something, like I think it was Shudder. But it was about the girl, a girl who had a camera, and she figured out when she could take pictures, and this ghost would show up in it.
Oh, that's
one of the coolest parts of the whole movie was they would subtly put in like the main guy character. He would always like rub his neck and stuff, and as the movie went on, he was like getting more pained, and you just thought like the stress was getting a hold of him. Well, the girl finally took a picture of him. And it turned out the ghost, like the ghost girl who has been haunting them all, had been sitting on his shoulders on the back of his neck the whole time. and that's what was caused. So like he would like pain, and he kept hunching and slowly hunching. You never realize that until the end. Yeah.
Oh man, I like that.
That's cool.
Hell yeah.
And they do that crack. They always put that crackle thing
I'm
in.
that old school horror, man. The 80s slasher. Nightmare on Elm Street.
I thought you were gonna say like House on Haunted Hill, like from the 1950s. I like that too.
Like that. Oh, I don't mind that stuff, but yeah, I like the, Freddy, Jason, the mainstays, the mainstream stuff.
Cool.
I love that.
Also, I started there's a buddy of mine. He does another podcast, and every Sunday night he gets together with a bunch of people for this thing called Shitty Movie Sunday.
Nice.
We go for like Amazon Prime's, like, because he doesn't want to pay for it, and it's just like their list of the most terrible shit that they have. So like the first time I went, we watched a movie called House Shark.
Oh, geez, these are like Adams right up his alley.
And it was the ghost of a shark haunting a house.
Oh my gosh!
But they ripped off a bunch of shit from Jaws, so it was like fucking.
Oh, that actually sounds okay.
Yeah,
it was great.
If they're making a joke out of it. That sounds okay, man. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Dude, yeah.
I take it you all have seen Velocipaster.
Yeah. We watched that. We actually had to turn it off at some point because I think
it was that bad.
Have you watched it all the way through?
I haven't watched it all the way through. Don't lie.
No, I did. I actually bought it. I actually bought it. I bought the Blu-ray because it was just so absurd. I had to have it.
Dude, it's about a priest who becomes a dinosaur. Okay, come on.
The most recent one I watched was called Spaghetti Man.
I gotta write that down. I'm going tonight, so
Spaghetti Man.
But it's not is it only horror?
No, it's everything. There's
just whatever's bad.
We watched a movie called Lady Terminator.
Oh, dude, that sounds awesome. What are you talking about?
It was like an Indonesian B movie, and like I don't know what the fuck they did, but it was bad. And like they just mashed like Terminator with like a bunch of like their folklore. So
Indonesian folklore? That's
like
okay.
Yeah, is also it's just Google it, man. Like
it's fun and educational,
right? It's like Discovery Channel.
I'm writing it down. Yeah, Spaghetti Man. It's very low budget, but it's so it takes a bit to get into it. I'll admit that at first you're like, I hate this guy. Why should I like him?
Yeah.
But it gets funny, and just absurd. And the editing is weirdly. I was like, this editing is really damn good for this movie. Right. That's the thing that threw me. It's like such a low budget movie, but the editing is great. But yeah, Spaghetti Man, and I'm gonna look up Lady Terminator.
Do it, yeah. Write it down. They're talking about the new Candyman. Did you catch the new Candyman trailer at all?
You and Comic Book Bob are not agreeing.
It looks okay. I mean, oh my gosh, come on, Bob. It looks okay. It looks okay.
The original.
He's the best moderator in the game. He's dropping the link for the Instagram for 3 Panel Crimes in the chat. You guys check that out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. We're going to talk about that.
Let me hit this chat real quick. Venomized Ryan drops $5 and says the show is now monetized. Thank you.
I think you may have spelled monetized wrong. I'm not sure.
But that's okay. Gaumer, guys throwing money at us, and you criticize his spelling error. Shut up.
That's just the bougie way to say monetized. Monetized.
Yeah, it's a classier way.
Yeah. Way classier than Gaumer.
Whatever.
Menage-tized.
There you go. Shit. I believe you.
Yeah, the Candyman. I remember watching the original.
It scared the hell out of me, man.
Yes, but I watched it probably way too young, like I did most horror movies. Like I remember being a small child watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I should not have done that. But there's that one scene in the original where he hooks the girl from behind, lifts her up, and is just ripping the hook up her back, and she's just like doing this. Yeah. Freaked me out for the longest time. Freaked me out. I don't know if a remake can touch.
Don't leave. I'm sorry, Ryan.
When I was a kid,
I love you, man.
Mars Attacks.
Oh, Mars Attacks!
And I was a little kid, and I was like, "Oh, cool! They look cool! They look cool! Let's go see it." And I think I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7. And like I walked out of the theater. I was like, fuck no. That like when they started turning people into skeletons and shit.
Right.
But the cool thing about that movie is it's based on these trading cards.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, did you know of the trading cards before you saw it?
No.
Oh.
Because I was tiny. I was a child. But I wish. But like it's with the codes, like the censorship, like Comics Authority and all that stuff, they didn't have to do the like applying their stuff to the codes. So they had these super fucked up like graphic trading cards with gnarly shit, but it technically was a comic book. So they got around that.
Yeah.
They also
they recently reissued those. Actually, Dynamite has that license. Yeah, they've recently reissued those. You can probably find them.
There was another old series that did the same thing, kind of. I think it was called Dinosaurs, or Would Dinosaurs Attack, or When Dinosaurs Attack.
Yeah,
and it showed dinosaurs ripping up people and stuff all over the world. Yeah. Those were freaky. I remember picking those up and Garbage Pail Kids at the local Big Lots when they had that stuff. Unfortunately, they don't have that stuff anymore.
Here's another $5 super chat from Venomized Ryan, just to confirm that he does, in fact, know how to spell monetized.
It was probably your phone, man. It was probably your phone.
I mean,
on the phone.
I think you should find another thing to criticize him about.
I know he's going to keep paying us. I keep talking shit. So
you got to blame that for it's that auto.
Sorry.
It's that auto miscorrect.
Yeah. Wolf Cop, Comic Book Bob bringing up Wolf Cop. Is that another terrible shit movie?
Oh, yeah. I think that is a movie on Prime as well. I hadn't watched it though.
William Pace says, I'll be nice when I get my custom emoji. Anybody that is a member of the channel, you can check it out. Venomized Ryan has his own custom emoji down in the live chat that you can play with, but you can be a member, William, for 99 cents a month. And then you too may also have your own.
Is he not a member?
He is. He's a new member.
Is he a member?
Yeah, William's a member. You better take it back. Oh, you need to take all that shit back now.
I changed my mind. Venomized Ryan is giving us like $30 in super chats, so catch up.
Oh, you got to up your game now.
Yeah, I gotta come up with something.
I don't even know how you're talking with that foot shoved down your throat.
Right.
Usually it's me that's doing that stuff.
And that really sucks because talking shit on William is literally one of my favorite things to do throughout the week.
Well, it was working so well until you cut me off, and now he's attacking me. He's attacking me in the chat.
That's okay.
Bob,
did anybody?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, Boogie. Oh,
yeah, Adam wants to get along with the podcast.
I'm attacking our listeners. I'm sorry.
I
don't watch these crappy movies you are talking about. I got to entertain myself somehow.
Well, how about the brand new Netflix series? I'm Not Okay With This or whatever.
Yeah, that's sort of got a superhero spin to it. I haven't watched it. It looks too angsty for me,
I
man.
binged it. It was one big. I don't know if I could say this. One big cock tease.
Oh, we're already demonetized. I shouldn't say that though, because then you all just
go off
just to try to make sure we get
there's some superhero stuff that happens throughout, but I feel like you don't really like it doesn't really get going. This whole first season was foreplay, and then just when you think something's going to happen, that's the last episode. That's when we're have to wait till the next season.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it, I would say wait.
I'm not going to watch it.
Wait for the next season and binge 2 seasons worth.
Yeah,
then
Did you see End of the Fucking World?
Yeah, Well, the first season.
Yeah, I didn't see the second season yet. The first season was pretty good though.
Yeah, it's a cool show.
Yeah, it kind of had a little bit of a. I think I'm thinking of what you're thinking of. It had like a kind of like Dexter, but like young kids.
He thinks he's a psycho and he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. And he's been in that kid's been in some pretty good stuff. So he's a good actor.
He was in like a really crazy episode of Black Mirror. Did you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. That's one of the
weird email contest thing or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, oh my god.
Why he's so nervous?
Oh, dude.
Did you see?
The show fucks with me so much. It like sticks with you, dude. It's sticky TV. I call it. Yeah. Where you can't get it out of your brain.
Sticky TV.
It's sticky TV where it haunts you forever. Dude, you see the episode where the guys are...
I think a sticky TV, but...
Dude, the episode where the 2 friends are playing video games and the whole ending of that, my wife said, I can't watch this show anymore. Yeah. She couldn't finish. She's like, no, I'm done. I can't watch the show anymore. And I get it. I understand. So yeah, that show's nuts, dude. I love it so much.
William Pace. I binged Hunters.
Yeah, I need to watch that too.
It was pretty good at times, though. I think it fell kind of flat. Like there was a point where I wanted to make a drinking game that every time I heard someone say, "I don't understand," you take a shot because it's said so many times.
Trying to push the story along through dialogue.
Yeah. Whoever did a lot of the writing on the episodes, I feel like they were relying too much on tropes. Like one scene, there's two people, they're laying out guns and armory on a table, and when the scene opens, the table's full. They're pulling guns out, and the girl says, Myers says we need to be ready for anything or something like that. And I was thinking, how long have they been pulling these guns out?
They should be
laying
ready.
them on the table.
Y'all ain't ready yet.
And then she just blatantly blurts out a statement of the obvious.
Yeah.
And I wanted the other guy to be like, who the hell are you talking to? Of course, we've been doing this for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on my list, man. There's way too much to stream, dude. Yeah. There's so much to stream.
I'm a bit.
It's hard to keep up.
You guys are boring me to death. God,
what are you doing? Well,
Adam's like,
steer the damn show.
Oh my God, a guest is talking about movies. Let me tell you about what I watch on Netflix. Let me get this thing back under control.
Wait, have you guys ever seen Cool Hand Luke?
Yes.
Yeah, classic.
That's my favorite movie.
Nice.
Yeah. Have you ever dug any holes?
Speaking of digging holes, let's look at some of these panels on 3-panel crimes on Instagram.
I don't have much on your stuff except it's wildly unique. I love everything about what you're doing up there.
Nice
transition. I hope you
man.
have all of the success in the world. But I really like the fun ones more than the ones where I have to think. If I got to click left to go back, I usually just don't get it.
Really?
I don't. Yeah, I usually don't get it.
I thought because I'm an idiot.
I really love the fun ones, man.
I can't read
this
Jonathan
one that he's
Hickman.
got up with the party in the alley, dude. I love that shit. Should win a damn award. I love this so much on
let's first
multiple levels. It's great.
We'll go through some of these.
Yeah, let's
Comic
do
Book
it.
Bob is linking the Instagram channel.
Yeah, everybody should follow.
So go follow. Great. Just first, I want to know because when Rylan told me what you were doing, I went and checked it out. I was like, "This is so cool!" And we set up the interview, but I thought it was just all you. So are these all your stories? And you got artists on board? Explain what 3-panel crimes is.
So 3-panel crimes is it's a web comic, and the basic idea is that it's a different crime story, like once a week at least, in just 3 silent panels, so no dialogue. So I try to write at least 1 or 2 of these scripts like every morning when I wake up, just as an exercise, to get my brain flowing. And the whole reason I started doing it is because I wanted to finish something every week, and having things that are smaller and just getting them done. It just, I don't know, made me feel better about, all the other stuff that I was doing, like longer form projects. And it's been cool because I think we're at 100 different comic book artists now.
Wow.
That have just agreed to do one, or so we're kind of rolling them out. And it's been a lot of fun. I get to work with people, and the cool thing about them only being 3 panels is if it doesn't work, it's not.
You got one tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's that keeping the momentum and keeping going. But also if something, because sometimes I'll be working doing layouts with somebody, and then we'll be like, hey, you know what? We have a back and forth. Let's be I think this panel, we should change it to that, and that'll change the meaning. I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds good. So a lot of times things like that happen.
Nice.
But yeah, dude, it's just,
and that's got to feel good too for someone to take what you did and feel your vibe on it, so to speak, and then move on and it come out the other side. That whole creative process, especially on a micro level where you immediately have a result, that's got to feel great.
It's it's all these smaller things over an extended period of time. So we've been doing it for about 2 years now.
That's insane because you have over 30,000 followers in 2 years. That's amazing.
I'm surprised it's so low. I couldn't quit thumbing
Low?
through this thing.
30,000? We're happy
I think
when
it should be
12 people
higher
show
than
up
that,
here.
dude. It's to me, this is like something that the industry as a whole would jump on because it's such a unique creative outlet, not just for creativity as a whole, but for comic book creators. I know comic book creators. Bendis would never be able to do something like this, dude. He can't tell a story in 3 panels.
Can't
You
tell a
kidding me?
story in 8 issues.
8
What are you talking
issues.
about?
I'm just saying it's so unique, and a part of the reason I love comic books so much is because of that synergy that the creators have together, that unique creative experience where it's just a small handful of people doing something awesome and coming out the other end with something that's greater than the sum of all its parts. And you're doing it on a micro level, which it just changes the whole aspect of it. And I love it so much, dude. I'm so glad we got turned on to this. And
let me ask you this. In the world we're in now with comics, we're seeing a lot of success with crowdfunding. And you've got a lot of these posts here that you could easily turn into some type of trade paperback or a
coffee
hardcover
table book. Yeah.
You could put 3 panels on a page and just do. I'm telling you,
let me say
have so much success crowdfunding.
Let me say before you answer this, I think this has crossovers too. This is going to be something cool for comic book readers to like, but I think you can have anybody pick this up and enjoy the hell out of it. It's got mass appeal, and yeah, dude, it's great. Go ahead. Sorry, I can't quit raving. It's great.
I've been thinking about putting together a collection of them and looking at Kickstarter and some other options. There's a lot of different things that are kind of that I'm working on just as in terms of how to get this all organized and put out in the best way in front of the most people. But it's been really cool, man. The thing that I like the most about it is just it's been great for a bit of an icebreaker. We're working with new artists and shit because it's hey, I do this thing. I like your stuff. Would you like to do this thing? And then most people say yes, which is
it's not great. A lot of pressure. It's sort of easy in, easy out.
Yeah, it's we're not getting married on the first date, So it's we work on something, and then some of these guys have actually gone and worked on longer projects with other things. So we put together
getting noticed because of the 3-panel comics, that sort of thing, or just something.
We'll make a 3-panel together. There's a couple guys that have come back for multiple, and we'll start working on some other things together. Nice. Which has been cool. And the guy that has done the most of these, his name is Dexter Wee. He's a super talented guy. He lives in the Philippines. And I just completed a 4-issue crime miniseries called Recoil. That's all done. I'm waiting on a cover right now. And nice. I'm gonna take that and pitch it around. So that story is a kid shoots the little girl next door by accident, and then her parents show up for dinner that night pretending everything's fine. So we try to find out why.
Oh, what? Whoa.
This one's making me laugh. Are you guys looking on the screen?
Yes.
This is so funny. This one is so funny. The blind guy and the chick walks by. Whoop.
Yeah.
I love that. You got to explain this one to me. I'm like Gaumer, man, except I'm pretty dumb. He's a little bit more intelligent. I don't understand it. Let's let Tony just sit back and let's go through this together and see if we can figure it out, and then let him explain it to us. Okay. So we see 200,000 for the boy, right? Some type of ransom letter. I follow that. Yep. Next panel. All right, we got the guy with the suitcase full of money. Somebody's coming off what? All right, I'm not sure. Last panel. Going to the electric chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure I get that one either, Boogie. I think I'm with you there.
Let's go through it again. Well, it's the same guy.
Let me ask you a question.
All right.
What do you guys think happened?
Well, I think somebody
he obviously got arrested kidnapped for it.
Yep.
Somebody's coming to pay the ransom. It appears, or is this the guy that got the ransom?
Hey, he set up to have his kid a fake ransom set up. That or wait a minute.
We shouldn't allow Adam to participate.
You started off trying to exclude him.
So the guy set all this up to have his kid killed, and the cops found out.
I don't know.
That's the best part about this. You shouldn't explain. You shouldn't. That's the best part of these. A lot of them, you leave them sort of open-ended.
This is the part that throws me off right here. This is what confuses me.
Literally throws them off.
I don't know.
Oh, this is wait a minute. Not a fun game.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's not fun.
Was the boy kidnapped? The guy that kidnapped it. Maybe how old is the boy? That's the question. How old? Because is he old enough? Is he old enough to know what happened? And he gets over on his kidnapper, and when he throws the kidnapper off of the water tower, goes and tells the police, and the police arrest the dad.
He needs the 0 issue for this comic.
Shut up, Gaumer.
He needs the backstory.
This is what I'm having fun with, man. Like reading the comments half the time.
Exactly. And that was half of the fun for me too,
even posting the shit. And like friends of mine will be like, dude, did you check your comments? And I'm like, no. He's like, man, they got like 9/11 conspiracies going on. I'm like,
right.
That is so funny.
Going on at all, you know? Like,
but that's what the ones where you leave that mystery out there. That's what's fun about it, man. Yeah. Let people speculate and talk about it. Shout out to Akari Press, Antonio hanging out in the live chat. He just launched brand Way of the Gun, the second volume of his comic just yesterday, man.
What does
go check it out, Bob?
Say?
Bob, put the link in the description. Adam's like, quit plugging your friend's book.
Yeah. What does
go check out Way of the Gun, Bob? Drop that.
Yeah, you got to zoom in on that, Adam. Get your magnifying glass. Zoom in on that.
Maybe he just wanted to do an ET recreation.
Maybe.
Right. So who's are there any high profile artists you've worked with on this? Like anybody names we'd recognize maybe? And we're not all that smart. We don't know very much.
Shit.
I'm surprised.
The most popular, like the one that got the most in terms of like numbers and stuff, there's a guy named Robert Samelin. He does a lot of posters for like Mondo.
Oh, cool.
And stuff like that. And he's in, I think he's in Sweden. He's fucking awesome. Like super cool. Like just really, really easy to work with and just like such an awesome dude.
Sure.
And that was the Cookie Monster one, if you can find it.
Yeah, let me go find it. Do you know how far back it is?
It's down a little bit further. Keep going. And down a little more. There it is. Right there.
Oh gosh, I've not seen this one.
That's great, dude.
Let's see what we got. Oh, you've looked at this one?
I was on this like 3 hours last night, dude.
Let me drop some likes.
I was reading comments and stuff. It was like you said, it's interesting.
What?
Oh, it's freaking awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? It's great.
What happened? So what happened?
Adam's writing notes to the. If there was a way to directly communicate.
You know what's so funny is today I just watched Happy Time Murders.
So
this is funny.
That's like, up there.
This is like coming full circle.
Yeah.
So he dresses up as a Muppet, and
that's his thing, man. Don't knock it. Everybody's got their thing.
Give me your cookie.
It's not the Cookie Monster. It's the Quirky Mernster. So we don't get fucking.
I got you.
Yeah, you can't get.
It's a parody.
PBS got
give me your cookie,
man.
Do you have one that's your favorite?
That was
that's your favorite.
It. Awesome.
Or actually, the first one, like way down.
Oh gosh,
very bottom. The first one we ever posted. Because I was writing this shit, I was like, what is the darkest thing I can possibly think of today?
I mean, it is Instagram, so yeah.
Sometimes we have like it's been a little weird though, because sometimes we'll get our shit removed.
Oh wow!
Oh really?
If it's too, yeah.
Well, that's got to be people just jealous.
This one was kind of. The thing is I'm sure this has been done,
dude. I love.
I'm sure this has been done,
dude. I love it so much.
Now, did you read about this or did you just come up with it? Because this made me think someone has had to have done this before.
I think so, but like, I mean, there are some that are based just on like Florida Man headlines.
Sure.
Like the dude that throws the alligator through the drive-through window. Like that shit actually happened. They didn't have chicken nuggets or some shit. He was just like, oh, fuck you, alligator. Like,
Kirky alligator.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Dude,
Red balloons.
I love everything about this idea, dude. I hope
the red balloon. That one's based off. There's a movie from the 50s, and the original is in the 30s. It's called M. It's about this guy that's like going around this town like murdering kids and shit. And there's a scene where like he's like kidnapping some kid at a carnival, and she has a balloon. And I was like, that's such a cool, like, you know, in terms of like visual storytelling, that's such a great fucking device.
Well, it fits in with the whole It thing too,
right?
You know, the whole red balloon and the guy in the shadows. It just works.
So the favorite one was probably the first one, because I was just like that was the one
dark.
You could totally work with Maxwell Prince on some Ice Cream Man. Have you read those comics?
It's funny because Martin Morazzo, the artist, is doing a 3-panel Crimes.
Oh, what?
Awesome.
Dude, that's awesome.
Dude,
he's gonna give us the layouts today, actually. So
nice.
Yeah, I hit him up and I was like, "Hey, man, like, what's up? I like all this shit that you're doing. It's fucked up. It's my fucked up shit." And he's like, "Hey." You know,
that's awesome. That's so good. Yeah, he does some awesome fucked up shit, dude. I love it.
Ice Cream Man's probably one of my favorite series right now.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. It's up there. That's so cool. So cool.
What do you guys like in terms of like crime comics?
Well, Criminal, of course. That was great.
Anything Ed Brubaker, man.
Yeah. We went the distance with Kill or Be Killed.
Yeah, that too is so good.
Yeah. That was a good one. Brubaker's the whole reason I got into comics at all.
Nice.
Yeah.
I started reading his shit and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then I went through all of his stuff. This was like back in 2012, and like I read Low Life, which is his like semi-autobiographical stuff that he drew himself because he used to be a cartoonist as well. And like I was like, oh man, this dude like took a bunch of crazy shit from his life and made it into like this really cool comic. Like, I don't know, maybe I could do something.
Nice.
Like, why wouldn't it's that kind of thing. Like, somebody else can do this. Like, I could try. Fuck it. And that's kind of like put me on the path towards doing this stuff.
So you're reading any other current comics other than crime, like Brubaker stuff? Is there anything else you're reading, or is it?
Not really. I mean, what else is going on? I've been like going and getting like I got this right now.
Oh,
just like Toppy.
Mm-hmm.
What is that about?
It's like a collector. So he has all these short stories, and like it's just this really crazy shit from like magazines like in the 60s and 70s. And he writes these like they're fucking sick, man.
So you're more into, I mean, just like 3-panel, you're more into like the short bits rather than long drawn out Brian Michael Bendis storylines.
I'm into every. I mean, like my favorite stuff is obviously like Criminal is great. There's another crime series called Torpedo. You guys read that?
No,
Torpedo? No.
Dude,
that's a recent one?
No, it's not recent.
I feel like Jason's here.
But IDW,
shut up, Ryan.
IDW put out this series.
IDW? How is this IDW and we don't know what it is?
I think it's a big trade. It only came out as a trade.
It's this dude in like the 30s who's just this like fucking crazy degenerate criminal. And he's just getting into crazy adventures and doing like all sorts of messed up shit. But because the author is like Italian and I think the guy who drew it is Brazilian, they don't give a fuck about like censorship or any like crazy shit happens in that book. It's
the live chat is throwing out crime-based books. Read Wasted Space.
Wasted Space.
Yeah, 100 bullets. 100 bullets.
Bob says Scalped. I've heard of that, but haven't read it. Yeah. People talking about Stray Bullets. Comic Book Bob says 100 bullets. A lot of
Stray Bullets is great. 100 bullets is awesome.
Yeah.
But you only need one bullet.
That's right. All the old Will Eisner stuff is really cool too, like the Contract with God stuff that he did.
Nice.
It's not a crime book, but one I preach to everyone I think I say it to everyone that comes on the show.
Yeah,
is the Kill Lock
The Kill Log?
It's out. It's out now.
Yeah, it's about it's five. I think it's five robots who are they're basically locked together by a program, and if one strays off too far or something happens, they all die.
Right.
But they're even though they're robots, they're the most fleshed out, humanized characters I've read in comics. It's so weird.
Adam relates to robots that don't have a soul, but human beings, he's like, they're not.
Yeah, but
he's not wrong though. That book's great.
Yeah, it's so well. Like the writing is so well done, and it doesn't pull punches. So,
dude, I mean, that's why I like reading stories. You know, because like even though the circumstances are always interesting and different, from like I'm not going to space, you know what I mean, or like mafia or whatever. But like if the writer's doing his job, I'm like, oh fuck, I know what it's like if like, you know, you have relationship problems, or I know what it's like if you got some family shit going on here. So it's like, I don't know. To me, it's that recognition.
Yeah.
Of, fuck, yeah, I've had that problem too. And how does this guy solve it? And how can I take that and maybe like throw that into my own life?
Exactly.
In a way that I'm not going to get, you know, I'm not going to go laser gun a bunch of people or something.
Right.
Within the context of shit that I could do, maybe I'll walk away and have some perspective.
Yeah, see, I like that, and I think Brubaker kills that, man. He does it so good, telling those crime-based stories, but then that he makes them personal. Like Killer Be Killed, man. Like Dylan, his character was so relatable in so many ways, but then he throws him in these crazy circumstances that make it interesting to read. Like I don't want to just read about a dude just going through his day-to-day life. You got to spice it up, and he's the best, man.
No, and the whole thing with like the mental illness shit that he brought up, it's like kind of hereditary, and he doesn't know if it's a real demon or not, and like.
And we don't either.
Yeah.
That's the best part. We get to travel along with him, which I don't know if you can even do that in another medium but comics, the way that book did that. You know what I mean?
Canopus kind of did that.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it deals with various personal issues, I think, but in an interesting story-driven way. So I think, Dave Chisholm, he was on here.
Yeah.
Yep. Canopus. Throwing that out there. Canopus.
I mean, the thing that I like the most about like the Brubaker and like Sean Phillips, like with the single issues of Criminal, is like in the back they always have these little essays. They have an illustration and then like an essay about like some old fucking crime movie that I probably wouldn't have ever seen or known anything about. And they hype me up, and then I go find it and watch it.
Right.
You know, like just I don't know. I love comics, man. Just all of it.
So your favorite part of Home Alone is like that movie within the movie, the crime movie.
That's right.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
The Dirty Angels, or when angels who have to die, or I forget the name of it.
Shit.
Yeah. All right, what's next? Boogie threw in a Fantastic Four X-Men code. Whoopee.
Get your free comic.
Oh, come on, man. Adam's just hating on me. I'm just trying to give away free comics, bro.
No, right? Trying to be nice.
Somebody's got to be the villain. Every story's got to have a villain. It's
usually... Again, man, we love what you do. Again, I had not heard of it. Ryland turned us on to it, and
I'm so glad he did, man. I owe Ryland a lot.
Have you thought about branching out to like Twitter? Like, I don't know. Facebook would probably shut down a ton of this stuff.
Yeah. We have a Twitter.
Oh, you do?
At 3 Panel Crimes.
Oh, cool.
I don't use it all that often because really it's just been like it's pretty busy just with like the Instagram feed. So at least for now, I'm planning on we got the domain, so I'm kind of building a website right now. I'm hoping to get past this year because then I can start doing some shit that I'm not going to be afraid of getting banned from Instagram for.
Nice.
So yeah. We'll see what happens this year. But yeah, man, I'm glad you guys like it, and
it's so cool. I really hope you look at putting this in some type of hardcover collect. It'll sell.
It'll sell. I was thinking like a square book.
That'd be cool.
Like maybe like 6x6 or 8x8, and then instead of like all of them as a strip, like because the reason I did the carousel posting is it's kind of like flipping a page.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's just like panel 1. Flip, panel 2's right there, and then panel 3 is like on the other thing.
The opposite side. Yeah,
that'd be cool. That'd be cool. That's a good idea.
It'd be awesome if you could put it in like an old school Rolodex. And you just like flip
as a
each
Rolodex.
You know what?
Or a calendar, like they have the calendars.
The one thing I started doing for cons, because like they gave us a table at LA Comic-Con.
Oh, sweet.
And I had like a week to like figure it out, and I didn't know what the fuck to do. So I made like I went to a business card printer and I got these square cards printed, and each card was a panel. And then I made kind of like a flip card game with the 3 panels like at the table. And I just watched people like come up and like, you know,
interact, literally interact.
Yeah, seeing the look on their faces, me when I don't get it, I'm like, wait, what? And then they flip back. That'd be awesome.
The funniest thing was like one of them that was on the table was the thing where the guy's using the drug mule, using the kid as a drug mule, right? Yeah. Like I was I'm like standing at my friend's table and looking over, and I see like this old grandma like go over. No. And she flipped over that third panel, and she just puts on this giant grin on her face. Oh my god!
Yes. See, everybody would buy that, dude. Yes. Yeah, it's great. You don't have to be a comic fan to like it. But...
No, man.
Yeah.
Like, even if you are the calendars, the single page flip calendars, like Far Side calendars,
right?
Dude, it would sell, man.
But if you are a comic fan and you realize the sort of like I said earlier, the micro creativity, that sort of, it's unique, and I love it so much. And you need to come back when you do your book, when you sell your book. We'll help you push that thing.
Yeah,
it sounds awesome.
You got
a copy if you want to read it.
Sure, yeah. Send.
If you want to read it, then yeah,
absolutely. I mean, you've sold 3 right here, and I'll go ahead and speak for Jason since he can't be here.
Dude, he was so upset because he got sick, and he's like, man, I want to talk to that dude so much, but he's like, there's no way. He's so sick. Well, he was so upset.
You know, he can hit me up anytime. I'm around, so if he wants to talk, we just talk shop or whatever. But you guys give me your we'll link up later, and if you guys give me your addresses, I'll send you like a package with some cards if you want.
Awesome, cool, yeah, man.
Oh yeah, nice. Thank you.
Well, thanks again for coming on, man. We're big fans. I think the live chat's digging it, even though some of them are too dumb to comprehend what's going on here. But the links are all in the description.
What Instagram is.
The links are in the description. Bob's been putting in the chat. Guys, go check out 3 Panel Crimes. Good stuff. Tony, thanks so much for coming on, man.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, have a good night.
All right, you
take it easy.
Oh, the passion in that guy, man.
Dude, he loves what he does. And that it comes off of him. It radiates off of him. He is passionate about what he does. Boogie talks shit on Adam bringing up the old movies. But I love that he was talking about those.
I'm not talking about.
You were, Boogie. You were.
Gomer. When I said,
I've been waiting forever to talk about this crap.
When I said shut up, Ryan, I was talking to Venomized Ryan, not you.
Oh, I know.
Look at him. I don't want to hurt your feelings, Mr. Gomer.
That's right. But yeah, what a great guy. I thought it was going to go bad. I thought it was going to go bad at the beginning, but we cracked the ice. We break the ice very well.
It takes people a second to kind of warm up to us and what's going on, and we act like lunatics.
Yeah,
it doesn't help when they come.
And he didn't see any damn Rocky movies.
Dude,
that was a bad start to the show.
You can hear. You can. I don't know. This is going to come off weird. He's probably going to listen to this. Be like, these guys are a bunch of stalking weirdos.
No, you got just
but
you.
I admit it. I surfed his Instagram for 3 hours last night. I couldn't stop.
But he's I mean, you can just hear the fact that his brain is always working. Yeah. You can hear that. These stories are in there and they just come out. Yeah. I wish I could write. I mean, I don't write anything except notes because I can't remember a damn thing.
Directions, yeah,
directions.
My order at McDonald's
for 3-minute popcorn. I have to write that down. But you can just the fact that like he said, I saw I read Brubaker and I was like, why can't I do it?
Exactly.
And he freaking did it. And it makes, I mean, just that, not even his 3 panels, just that makes me think, well, what the hell is my problem? Why can't I do this or that?
Adam. What the hell is your problem?
I don't know. I've got a lazy ass.
Spoiler alert. I'm going to drop a freaking comic book with my brother from another mother, Antonio Bras. He announced it. I can announce it. We're going to do it.
He did announce it?
He announced it. I'm like, thanks for telling me you were announcing it. The first time he came to me, I just laughed because I thought it was a joke and I ignored him. He came back a second time and I was like, dude,
it's a bit funny.
I was like, I have no desire to do that. And he came back a third time and started throwing ideas at me. And I was like, screw it, man. Let's do it. Scooby-Doo parody, team up the Boogie team. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be
excited,
good. Good fun.
Excited.
Comic Book Bob's going to be involved.
I can't wait to bootleg my own copy. Adam, I knew you'd laugh.
Yeah. Adam backs 5,000 Kickstarters, but when it's my book, he'll be like, hey,
dude,
hey, Boogie, you send me a proof. Boogie, you send me a proof.
I just backed one. I backed one today. That looked.
I'm really not doing anything. Antonio's writing it. I'm just a collaborator. We're gonna have a good time with it, but that's a long ways off.
And that's what it's about, dude. You know, because you can tell in Tony in the interview. That's how he does these 3 panels. He wants to have fun with these guys, and he knows it's easy in, easy out. He's networking. It's working. It's a great side hustle. It really is. It's so brilliant. Dude, I can't stress enough how much I love, because I love that that inside baseball sort of crap where you see how the creation is created. You know what I mean? I like that process. And the process here is just completely unique. And yeah, go over to Instagram and like that. Finally, someone in my Instagram who's not just some hot chick.
Dude, I didn't even know you were on Instagram. So what that tells me is you're just lurking, following hot chicks.
That's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly. I have a whole folder.
Doesn't even follow
babes. Instagram babes. I don't even follow outright geekery on Instagram. What are you talking about?
You just got a secret account that's like RJ48738.
That's right.
Wow.
Well, you heard it here. He's gonna be working with the Ice Cream Man artist. So
yeah,
I mean, imagine if he like hooked him and Maxwell Prince like story wise, like I bet. Imagine what they would come up with.
I'm stoked for this dude, man, and what he's doing in the future.
I just hope he puts out. I'm telling you, he would make a fortune on Indiegogo or Kickstarter. A fortune.
He would if he said, and he could just say, yeah, this is all of that shit that's already on Instagram. And then once he hits different points, you know, where they add an extra story. And he can even find an artist, you know, if he makes enough money, he can get a named artist to do 3 panels. How much would that cost to get like
a lot of it depends on what's his deal with Instagram. Has he already paid those artists? Or is it free work and saying, hey, it's publicity, and then you got to put that in a book. You got to talk to him. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff he would have to work out.
They'd have to work that out. What percentage would everybody get of whatever? And yeah, that would be a bit tougher.
Let's talk some comic books. How about it?
All right.
Minimize Ryan earlier was like, would you all shut up and talk about comic books? Actually, I think that was Bob.
We could talk about what we want, Bob. I was hanging out with Comic Book Bob on his show the other day. They were talking all kinds of mad DC conspiracy. I was loving it. It's so great.
Bob's not my brother from another mother. Bob's just my pal. Go check him out.
I love Bob.
Bob the Goon from '89 Batman.
Yeah, Bob the Goon. I need a minute, Bob.
Remember, Bob, you are my number one guy.
All right.
Fantastic Four.
Thank you, Gaumer.
Grimm Noir, #1. And it's #1. It's the only one. Ron Garney and Gary Duggan Dugan with Matt Milla.
He got mad at me this week.
He did. Hey, well, will you not tag me in stuff that's going to be screenshotted, Boogie? Okay.
What a messed up attitude.
Is that your Dugan in person?
He's like, I appreciate the support, but would you please shut up and stop supporting me?
Yeah, I appreciate the support, but F you. Quit supporting me. Come on, Gary, whatever your name is. Well, they can shout out your name in the Deadpool movie, but we can't shout it out in a Twitter.
What he should have done is just done his own, like, just random, just out of left field picture and replied to you with a picture. Also, just something. That's what I would have done. I would have just started. I would have started blowing up your box.
No, he wants to act like a victim. Please stop tagging me.
Yeah, I'm on social media, but not for that kind of social media.
I just want to talk about politics.
I would have sent you a picture of like a corn dog and then maybe like
social media. Quit following the damn
trout
thing. Turn your alerts off. Nobody needs to DM you that hard, Jerry.
DM?
Anyway.
No, that was a wide open
I
post
know.
for everybody to see what a turd he was.
I know.
Okay, let's talk about the book.
They're going to buy my shit anyway. This was actually written quite well, Jerry Gary.
Well, probably my favorite issue of the year. So
I loved it. Exactly. It's going on my favorite single issue of the year.
Loved it.
This is a little bit less noir and quite a bit more grim. It was kind of horror, almost flat out horror. It did have the cynicism and the fatalism, but really it was more angst, where Ben Grimm hated his entire childhood. But I get it. He had a rough childhood. But Ben Grimm is having nightmares, which leads him to investigate the disappearance of his neighbor, who sings a lot, which leads him to the villain Despair, who feeds off of fear or whatever. And Ben beats him back with the power of positive thinking and good vibes or something. I really don't care what happened. The art in this was amazing. The art and design work were freaking awesome. This was sort of an after-school special of a story in here somewhere. It was okay. But holy crap, the art and design are worth the cover price alone. This was wonderful. I loved it.
I'm with you, man. And you're reading right off of my notes. I loved it.
We did not share those notes.
I love the detective aspect in the beginning, but then, like you said, it kind of transitioned away from that. The artwork, action panels, the story, dude, is so heartbreaking. And I think Ben Grimm, it's why I love the Fantastic Four. Ben Grimm and Reed Richards both, which I'll get into Reed here in just a minute. But Ben Grimm, he's one of my favorite characters, and I want more of like this type of story. Like I think they could have easily stretched this into a mini series. Like
I'm glad they
four
did.
Issues.
I'm sort of glad they didn't.
Maybe, but it could have gone 4 issues. The artwork, though, that big fight, and like you said, it's not so much like the artwork as much as it is the layouts and the way everything looks on the page. Looks so good.
He's telling the story with the art, you know, and like he's turning to dust.
The flashbacks
were rad.
And his dad, and all
when he's
that
turning
stuff.
into rocks and like dropping in the water, and oh yeah, dude, it's cool. When the rock right at the end, when he pulls like the rock out of his eye, it's
when he crumbled and broke, his eyes looked so good. It's on my list, man. It's on my list for best single issues of the year.
I want to go back and reread it.
It was very. I
didn't get any of that. I just didn't. After I was done with it, I was like, Despair. I had to look up who Despair was.
Oh, I did too.
Despair
I recognized it, but I had to look. But
because at first I thought it was Nightmare.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, this is a book that it could have very easily not been done. I could see this book coming across an editorial table and him saying, "Nah, I don't know. What are you trying to do?" You know what I mean?
But maybe because it's Jerry, Gary, Duke, and Duggan.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He has clout not only on Twitter, where you got to quit tagging him in shit, Boogie.
I'm sorry. I'll never tag him again.
But also in the Marvel office. Yeah,
no pictures. That's what was so weird. He's like, no screenshots. It's like, if you want to tag me, it's fine, but no screenshots. Yeah. Okay, dude.
Maybe he's got like a weird phone plan and he's roaming and he doesn't want to have to download those pictures.
Maybe it's like Adam talked about before we went live. It's like tick, 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 trying to load those screenshots.
Oh, it's funny.
I love Ben Grimm, dude.
Me too.
The stuff with his dad, his abusive past. He loses everybody he loves, man. And now he's to the point where all he fears is losing Alicia. And it's like, oh God, it's just, I love depressing stories. And that's what this is, dude.
I knew you would love this because of that.
That's what the movie got right, I kind of think, is
the Jessica Alba one?
No, the Michael B. Jordan as
the
Human Torch one.
The Fantastic.
Is that you had these kind of well-off kids on one side, but and then across the train tracks you had Ben Grimm, who despite them, he gets everything handed. He has a rough life.
Yeah. I agree with Bob.
And he never feels like part of their group. And then when he turns into the Thing, he really doesn't feel like part of them or even the world or even the human race. Yeah. He's a tragic character through and through.
That's why I love him, man. It's depressing.
Why do we got Deadpool hanging out with the monsters and not Ben Grimm? You know what I mean? Deadpool's all like Monster Island, King of Monster Island. That should be Ben. I love all the members of the Fantastic Four. I just wish their book was better.
Oh my God.
Now.
You just hit gold.
That's a segue. That's a segue if anyone wants to take it.
Yeah, let's segue to it because
I just want to say on that, Hulk went to Planet Hulk, right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't Thing be on Island of Monsters or whatever?
I
makes
love
sense.
Planet Hulk. Let's not get started on Planet Hulk because damn.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I love that book so much.
We'll just keep talking about Fantastic Four. This was X-Men Fantastic Four #2. Jason and Drew were going to take the lead on this, but neither one of them are here, so we're just going to talk about it. That's a great cover.
I know that's the Chris Elliott.
Amazing.
Do you want it? Because I don't care about this.
Yeah, dude, I love that cover. Yeah, I'll take it.
That's got to be the Chris Eliopoulos cover.
His name is not on the cover.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We'll just talk about this. We're not going to go.
Chip. I got a man
talk.
crush. I have a man crush on Chip Zdarsky, and I'm no longer ashamed of it.
Did you see him post his butt on Twitter?
It's my screensaver.
I thought it was.
I love this guy so much. His newsletter is easily the best. I get like 50 different creators' newsletters. His is easily the best every week.
I get Cullen Buns and never even open it.
Vicious Shivers. It's just okay. But Chip Zdarsky is entertaining. Oh, he's so good. I love him so much.
Chip Zdarsky.
I love him.
There you go.
I love him.
I love this book. I like it. I thought this was a solid issue start to finish. We're catching up with the kids and Kitty Pryde, and we find out what Doom is up to.
He's making
Sentinel Doombots.
Sentinels.
I thought the action was good when they showed it. I like the fact that the X-Men just took it to the Fantastic Four.
But not really. Because if you're keeping up with the X-Men stuff, it should be impossible for the FF to even step foot on Krakoa with all the security they got. But they got into the quiet council chambers. That's the
But they basically snuck in, and then once the X-Men realized it, it was like an old school wrestling match in the Fantastic Four were the hills, and they're like, "We got to get out of here."
It was really,
and it was everything just to get away, away.
I liked it when they realized it. It reminded me of an action movie where they realize something is about to happen. You know, Michael Bay does that in every damn movie he's got, where a couple of characters will look at each other and realize, "Oh shit, that happened in this," and it was done so well. I loved it. Yes.
Or I was talking earlier about Ben Grimm. I go back and forth who I like better, Ben Grimm or Reed Richards, and I just think I can relate to Reed Richards. And when I'm reading this particular story, he's always trying to protect his kids. He always thinks that he is in the right. He is doing what's right. And even though sometimes
he's wrong,
he's not
right.
But in his mind, and it's so relatable as a parent. You're walking this fine line of when to step in, especially like imagine a toddler. When do you step in and protect them? And when do you let them fall and fail to learn a lesson? It's so hard to do. And that's what Reed Richards is doing. And I love his character for that, man. I love his character.
He's really easy to argue about because he's a parent, and that's what we're arguing about. And everybody who is a parent loves arguing about being a parent, even when they're doing it in a nice, subtle tone, way. Women do it all the time, talk about parenting, and they say, "Oh, well, I do this." You know what I mean? Yep. It's just in our nature to love that sort of character and that sort of story, or at least be compelled by it. The father-daughter dynamic is going on with Doom and Valeria in this too, and it's wonderful.
I was going to say, am I the only one that loves when Doom is involved with their kids? I love it. I love it.
He's the fun Uncle Doom. He's
the fun Uncle Doom.
Yeah, he's great.
That needs to be a book. Where's that book?
Where's that book? Fun Uncle Doom.
You're getting it right now, dude. You're getting it right now. They're hanging out with Uncle Doom. Well, how is Reed a dick?
Reed is a dick. I think he is a little bit heavy-handed with his parenting.
No,
you shouldn't put a leash on your kid without the kid knowing they're on a leash. That's treating your kid like your kid is irresponsible, and a kid will.
This is what you were just talking about.
Will always resent you for that. Your kid will always resent you.
It's a parent telling a parent what to do.
Apparently,
you're exactly right.
Growing up, I always thought that my mom was so overprotective,
and now looking back, it's like, man, my mom really had a loose leash on me.
Yes. I think
every parent is like that.
High school, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then now I'm like, I don't even want to let my kids out of my house. Yeah. Adam, you don't have kids. Tell me about your dog.
Tell me, how did your dog? How short is your dog?
I keep a
short
like anytime my dogs leave my house, even if they're in the backyard, I keep watch on everything. I watch everything like a hawk.
But
I wouldn't let them. Some people just let they'll be fine. They'll end up dead. No.
So what do you think of this book? Let's get
Oh yeah,
back to
Sue
comics.
is definitely.
I like the
powerful
costume.
of that,
I like the suits. I like the hazmat suits or
the
whatever.
anti-mutant suits.
Yeah, whatever those. I thought those looked kind of neat. That's about it. Got to the end, I'm like, oh, doom tunnels. I was like, I know it's a comic book, but how comic booky could we get here?
See, I didn't even care about that. I just like the
didn't
whole
either. I
story.
sort of liked it. I sort of like the comic booky.
I hope they
aspect of it.
combine into a giant robot.
Oh, come
What
on.
is this 4 or 5 issues?
I think it's 4, but it might be 5. I don't know.
Yeah.
4 just seems right because it's a Fantastic Four book, but I'm not sure.
How great would Fantastic Four be if they'd given it to Chip Zdarsky instead of Dan Slott?
It's got to be a huge regret, dude. I hate to say this, but Axel Alonso went out and CB Cebulski came in. I think that was one of Axel Alonso's final gifts to what's his name? Who's writing that shit? Dan Slott. One of his final gifts to Dan Slott because Dan Slott really wanted to FF, dude. Really,
and you know he's going to be on it forever.
Because he's on everything he's ever done forever. Spider-Man was like 400 issues of Spider-Man under him.
What's so frustrating as somebody that's stuck with it and keeps reading it is he'll write a good issue or two, and then it's just you got to read 3, 4, 5 issues of trash to get to the next one.
I'm not doing it.
I
wish Chip would have gotten
look over my shoulder. Fantastic
know.
Four Funko Pops,
I know
action
it.
figures.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, where's the Herbie?
There's a little Herbie. I think it might be one of the waves of the FF.
Oh, I've not got it. It came out.
I saw it at GameStop today. I was like,
Oh.
does Boogie have that?
I know. I've not ordered that.
Oh,
and
the
I got
Herbie.
I got Doom.
Yeah.
I got Galactus.
I think
and
Herbie
Silver
was
Surfer.
also like a collector figure.
It's
one
on.
of the
It's on
Hasbro
Amazon.
lines.
It's on Amazon for a decent price. I've just not got it yet.
I can get
I
it.
will.
At
I'll get it.
GameStop.
I bought a pop last night. I bought an Albert Einstein pop last night.
As yourself, he reminds you of yourself.
He's an icon. I have a Ben Franklin pop too. I like Ben Franklin.
E equals MC Gaumer.
Yeah.
We ready to move on?
Gaumer.
I don't know. The rest of our books are kind of shit this week.
Whoa, really? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they weren't as good as the first two.
Oh, the next one. This next one we can go through pretty fast. But the book of the week, really?
Oh man,
I thought you would love it. Oh no.
Yeah, it was one of those books where I didn't feel like I was smart enough to understand what was going on.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it kept jumping all over.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Let's go in society first.
Yeah, let's get through this quick.
We'll bury it. We'll bury it.
How come when I hate a book, everybody else loves it, and when I love a book, you all hate it?
It's weird.
Because you're.
Hey, Yule Carter, thanks for being here.
Because you like depressing.
Oh, cool. Yule's been in here the whole time.
He's probably working.
Yeah.
Herbie and I thought the love bug. Oh. Hidden Society #1, written by Raphael Scavone. Art by Raphael Albuquerque and Marcelo Costa. And letters by Bernardo Bryce.
Thanks,
And
Bernardo.
all the good ones start with Raphael.
That's right.
I would say not a knock at them, but a reference to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. You're welcome.
Why do I invite William to be here and he just yells at me the whole time? I think he yells at all of us.
Who, William Pace?
Yeah, thanks for being here, Willie. Go ahead, Adam.
Pace your hate. Pace your hate, William.
Can you show your sign again, Adam? Is it still set up?
No, I erased it.
Oh.
It just said "Shut up, William," but I mean, I guess I could make it more vulgar.
We're already demonetized. Thanks, Venomized Ryan, for saving the show.
Willie P. Yells at it. So this book set in 1970s New York. We get this old wizard Ulu, the last wizard of the Hidden Society, and he puts together a team of miscreants. We get a blind girl, Laura, who has an amulet, and a pet demon, Orcus. A street magician, he's just a kid named Jadu. And a cursed bounty hunter named Mercy. He's bringing them all together to fight an ancient evil force. In a world where this book just had the character Mercy because she was probably the best one.
She was,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that's it. That is literally this book. We're introduced to people. Boom. It's done.
It's the whole book.
Done.
With all that said, taking the fact that the book is just introducing the characters, it wasn't that bad. I know who all the characters are. It was a nice little bait and switch. I thought Mercy was going to end up being the bad guy.
I did too.
That was a nice. That was an. Oh, you saw right through that.
I did not see. No, I did not see that. I didn't think that at all. No.
Who did you think she was going to eventually join the team too? You thought like
I mean, once you got through that first story and then the next, and then it's like, okay, she Shang Tsung'd some cheating guy.
She did.
Yeah,
she did Shang Tsung.
And we was like, all right, we're just being introduced to these people, and it was like in a movie where you're introduced to people.
Yeah, this felt like the first act of a longer movie. I was entertained. I was entertained for the most part.
I'm not even sure what they're being brought together for, though.
We don't.
Nobody knows.
Nobody. It's not introduced.
I think they mentioned something like a evil force, I believe, because I have it written down.
Yeah, he mentioned something, but it's not really. I think in the first couple pages, maybe there's a little something, but this was just okay. I
think it was. It's like this is like when they bring out your order and forget half of it.
Or if they bring you a steak and you wanted sauce and like, oh, I'll be right back. And then 20 minutes later, like, oh, yeah, here's that sauce. Like, yeah, you can take this fucking steak back. And eat it up too, bro.
I think it's like they're writing for a trade paperback. Because
of course.
It's a 4-issue miniseries. So this is the introduction. The next you're going to see what the mission is. And then we're going to have the conflict. And then we're going to have the resolution. And that's going to be a wrap.
100% agree, boo.
They should have. I'm almost saying this, but they should have just made this 2 issues and maybe
added a bit more.
They could
have taken 2 pages away of that little boy magician dude and added a little something.
Yeah, why did they focus so much on him when, like Adam said, that Mercy character was the best one?
The blind chick with the demon was pretty rad too. I wanted to see more of that. Once he started talking, I was like, oh, he's an interesting little character. But that's all this was just some characters that are pretty interesting, but they don't have any. The only thing that they're doing is following the words of this wizard, and that's it. Like Adam said.
And why are they just trusting this guy and just going to do whatever he says?
Hey, I got some candy, little boy. Like when I got in that van when I was a little kid.
My name is Ulu.
Never been the same.
Because I'll make you go.
Goober is here and says, "Have you guys read Fly Guy?" I have not.
I have not. I have to check that out. It sounds okay.
What's it about? Let us know. Glad to have you here, man. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Come hang out with us every Sunday at 7.
Yeah, Venomized Ryan's getting into the random reviews. He is anticipating our every move now.
Yeah, well, that's where we're going right now. Right about.
I want to talk about the X-Men book.
Random reviews presented by SpinWiz Comics. Check them out at spinwizcomics.com. Distribution platform for indie content. Their goal is to allow new readers to discover great content and for publishers to gain awareness and grow a bigger fan base. They are currently creating an app and setting up print on demand. Check them out on Twitter or online, spinwizcomics.com. What are you laughing at?
Me? Venomized Ryan mentioning the dialogue in Giant Size X-Men this week is funny because there was no dialogue. It was a silent issue.
Oh.
It was an homage to New X-Men 121. From Grant Morrison and Frank Quietly, basically a silent issue where there's a psychic healing thing going on, and Storm has 30 days to live. That's what we find out at the end. That was Hickman and Russell Dauterman. Probably, again, we had one book this week that is definitely in the pile for best single issue of the year. This one makes that pile too.
Oh, wow, really?
It was amazing. It was so damn good.
30.
X-Men number 7 was just as good. Hickman and Lionel Francis Hugh. This is all about the Crucible. The Crucible, House of M, that event, depowered a shit ton of mutants, millions of mutants. Those mutants must die in ritual combat to prove themselves worthy of the resurrection protocols. So they fight Apocalypse in the ring. Apocalypse murders them, and then they're brought back to life. It was epic, dude.
What kind of ring was it? Was it a force?
It was just a ring. They got swords and shit.
Four-sided ring?
Like an arena. No, it wasn't a
Oh.
squared circle.
Oh.
This is an actual ring circle.
Oh.
But at the end of this, Nightcrawler is going to start a mutant religion, which just has all sorts of implications. And if you think about, where the mutants are right now, that's really hard to do. How do you create a religion based around people who can live forever? You know what I mean?
And all the kids in Krakoa said, "Yay, 2 Christmases."
I thought it was a good issue of X-Men, but it was very long and drawn out, which most X-Men, the main title is usually long and drawn out.
Yeah. This also had a great moment in it where they're talking about the Scarlet Witch. Sage, I think, is telling the kids a story. She's like their Voldemort. They don't want to hear her name. Don't say her name. They're covering their ears. It was wonderful. X-Force 8, yeah, that was mentioned too. That was cool. It had a great splash page. Did you read X-Force, Boogie?
Yeah.
Did you see that splash page where Colossus is kicking that train's ass?
Yeah.
Oh, so good. It's my
favorite X book. It's better than the main title.
It is. It really is. New Mutants was good as well. Tie-in's a bit too hard to Marauders for me. And Detective Comics. Anyone else read Detective Comics? No one read
yet.
Detective.
I've got it. I've not read it yet.
That might be good single issue of the year. All about Two-Face.
Really?
He's having a conversation with himself through most of the issue, and you kind of are onto it, but it's so well written that it's so good. Loved it. Loved everything about all of those books this week. Loved it. I read a whole lot more, but
I'm going to go next because I've got the book of the week. I want Adam to go last. I read Avengers of the Wasteland #2. Ed Brisson gives us the backstory of the dude wielding the Captain America shield and talks about when Doom took control of Latveria for the second time, he tried to clone the Fantastic Four, and he used the last remaining. Did you read this, Gomer?
No.
He used the last remaining vials of the super soldier serum to try to create an army, but like all these dudes died and only 2 of them survived. And this guy that's wielding the shield now basically felt, I'm not doing the right thing, and turned on the other one. That dude died, and now he's the lone,
like Finn, like a stormtrooper.
Yeah, he's like the lone surviving member of that army, and he is basically on the run and now joins the team. There's good action. The team's not sure they can trust this new Captain America. His name's Grant. There's another Avenger added to the team in the cliffhanger, which I dug. I think I love this, man. I'm just glad to be back in this world. And I didn't read the last book, the Star-Lord book. I didn't read it. So maybe that's why I'm hot on it and everybody else is cold on it.
Sure.
I wasted a bunch of time and read Leviathan Dawn #1 from Bendis and Malieve.
Oh, I can't believe you do that to yourself, man.
Why?
Just the first issue. It was absolutely as horrible as you would expect.
Why do you hate yourself so much, Boogie?
Because I want it to be good, especially with Malieve on board. But this was terrible. I'm not reading another issue. I'm done.
Good.
I'm not reading.
We're putting you on Jerry Springer, and it's
last thing I want to.
I love him. I can make him change.
Yeah.
Is Man Bear Pig and You'll still in the chat? They'll know what this is.
Yeah, I think so.
I want to show these books off. This is Allegiance Arts. It's a new publisher. They had a Indiegogo campaign. Their books are actually going to be available in Walmart, which is really cool. Kelsey Shannon is the artist on Nora's Saga, and that's the one of these 3. It's Nora's Saga, The Futurist, and Bass Reeves.
Wait, floppies or
floppies
like books? Floppies in Walmart. It's been a while since I've seen comics in Walmart.
Allegiance has worked out a deal with Walmart to publish these in their stores, which is really cool. And the only one I've read so far is Nora's Saga #1, which was written by Blake Northcott. She also has, I think, a Catwoman one-shot coming up. How did you sleep on this? It's Kelsey, man.
He was tired.
So disappointed. Art by Kelsey Shannon, letters by Eric Weathers. And this starts off, it's kind of your typical story of the girl's having a dream. It turns out to be a dream. She has this nightmare. It starts off her and her dad and her mom. Everything's happy-go-lucky. And then, boom, she wakes up in this nightmare. And what the story is her mom has passed away. And it's the typical trope of single father left to raise a daughter. They move to a new town, doesn't fit into school, all the normal stuff. But then they're driving home in this snowstorm. And the dad, she's like taking selfies in the back, and the flash causes the dad to wreck. And he crashes into this icy pond. And when he does, somebody reaches in and pulls her out of the water. And it's like this Viking from a different time period, and is like starts talking to her, and they're like, "What the heck are you?" And then you flash back to I don't know if it's an old time. I don't know if it's a time travel thing. I don't know what's going on, but they rescue the dad. It shows rescue workers pulling the dad out, and they're like, no, he's the only person. He was the only person in the car. He's the only survivor. And they're putting him in the ambulance, and they're like, oh, he's in critical condition. We got to rush him off. And they're like, you're sure? And they're like, yeah, he's the only one.
Huh.
And then these two people, I don't know if they're with the FBI or what, they're walking off, and they're like, yeah, we saw the footage. There was somebody else in the car, but they don't realize that. And it's like, what is going on, man? It's like, what is and Kelsey Shannon made a video about this when they were doing the crowdfunding for it. And he was so passionate. I think I even talked about it on here. He was so passionate about it. And he compared it to like stories that he loved growing up, like Never Ending Story, Flight of the Navigator. It's an adventure. It's so much fun. Like I've not read the other two yet, but Nora's Saga. And I love Kelsey. He's a good dude. He's an amazing artist. He was supposed to come on the show, but it didn't work out. We got to get him back on. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
Yeah, Man Bear Pig says these were on Indiegogo, and he's fussing at Yule for not backing it. I think I saw you post that you got yours in the mail, Man Bear Pig. Go ahead, Adam.
I really only got two other things. Finger guns. I was slightly yet not thrilled with it.
Me neither.
We got introduced to two of the kids with the finger gun powers, and
the powers kind of suck, dude.
Well, it's not that they suck. I feel like they spent too much time. It's like, I can do this, I can do this, and at one point you're like, all right, I know what this does. We can move on with the story. We don't need to keep seeing examples of why this kid is an irresponsible brat.
That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to read any more about these brats.
And Boogie, if you like depressing stuff.
Oh my gosh, Boogie.
Stop. Just stop.
No, I'm serious, dude.
No, seriously.
This single issue was amazing.
And it's heartbreaking.
It's Alzheimer's.
Every time I read that book, it sucks.
It's about Alzheimer's, dude.
It's about this guy.
So good.
And his like memories are slowly being stolen from him. As he's talking about his life, trying to remember stuff, he switches between saying I to saying he because he can't recall that it was him.
And part of the word balloons, like his dialogue, his like internal monologue, there's words missing. And then in the next one, he catches himself and puts the word in. It's very well done. We're talking about best single issues for the year. That's another one, dude. I'm serious. It's heartbreaking. So good.
But I have to admit, the last panel of it, the last lines were wonderful. They kind of, through this depressing thing that you're witnessing, the end of it kind of gives you a little bit of relief, and it was incredible.
You could tell the creator of this, the writer, had a personal relationship with someone who underwent through the same, who had the same thing going on. It's weird. That's 4 issues this week that could hit the top. My favorite issues of the year. It was a wonderful week of comics, dude. And then we have tomorrow number 1.
Let's move into it. And I guess you want to transition to the outright geekery book of the week.
It looks like a speed bump of a segue.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. OutrightGeekery.com, your one-stop shop for news, reviews, previews, podcasts, everything geek at your fingertips. Check them out. OutrightGeekery.com. Tomorrow, number 1, Dark Horse Comics, written by Peter Milligan, art by Jesus Hervés, colors by James Devlin, letters by Sal Cipriana.
Thanks, Sal.
New letter? We got tomorrow, number 1. The End of the World is just now beginning. Episode 1, going viral. What is this, a TV show?
Right.
This book opens with one of our main characters, Oscar, discovering his mom's dead body. And it's the very first panel. And then we're off and running before we settle into flashing back 3 days earlier. And I think people have complained on this podcast. I think Gaumer has complained about this type of storytelling, but I personally love it. I love this style of storytelling. Hook me early, and then let's go back and fill in the gaps. But Oscar has an audition to get into Westside College of Music, and he's frustrated because his twin sister is sick, or so she claims, and she's not going to be going. And I think they do a good job kind of establishing some type of connection between these twins. There's something going on here. Like, he's got. What would you say is wrong? He's got something wrong with him.
He does have some sort of learning or social behavioral, social something. Yeah.
And she seems to set him at ease, which I like that relationship.
I almost wondered if they were twins.
No, they
are twins. They are twins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
I must have missed that.
Good thinking.
But I think they just did. I think they did a good job establishing that connection between the twins.
Yeah, I agree.
And like I said, she kind of calms him.
You see Yule's comment?
Twincest.
That's not right, Yule.
That's not right, Yule. Come on, man. We live in the South. That's a real problem here, okay? Stop.
Maybe in Gomerstown. It's not a problem where I'm from. But the story kind of picks up and changes gears, and it goes 100 miles an hour, and there's this virus spreading across the world that's killed over 2 million people. And just like Yule said, it's in my notes. This is deceased all over again.
It is.
With the virus spreading via technology, and it starts off as a computer virus, but then it starts to infect humans, and we meet a lot of characters in this issue.
Way too many for me.
Yeah, it is probably
my problem.
It's a lot, but we meet the guy that created the virus, and now he wants to create the antidote. But the real story for me, man, what hooked me is the twins.
Yeah,
we meet them at the first, and then we go through and see the world is going to shit, and it's. Now the twins are separated and they got to get back together. They're trying to find their way back together. And I don't know if even talking about this is doing it justice, but I loved it, man. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
The thing about the twins I loved, that was great. I love this virus. I love seeing how it's working through everything. But what really threw me off is us jump into this, was it a lacrosse team, a football team, soccer, some sports team? It was there.
Then the business guys that are on this like team building activity.
Yeah,
I agree.
It jumped all over the place.
I just took it as establishing how bad the virus was. But those characters
for a connection.
Those characters are going to be involved. It's going to connect.
I was looking for some sort of connection. This is a Berger book, which is like one of those high profile, high concept sort of books. And for me, I was sort of I was entertained. The art was great. The story had a thread throughout, but that thread doesn't seem to connect with all of the characters and all of the settings and things like that. The premise is wonderful. It was a very unique delivery, but with most of the Berger books, I'm just not sure I'm smart enough to understand what's really going on. And it's very difficult for me to rate it. You know what I mean?
You got to stick with it to see what's going on.
I think so.
I think the showing of how the virus affected people and the fallout of it, the art of that was done very well. A lot of the art was done very well. Mm-hmm. The break, it felt like kind of like a breakneck speed, which I think they intended to make it kind of panicky and rush, like people are scrambling to figure out what's going on. And I got that, but there were things like at times that felt like I was watching, I don't know, like a Michael Bay movie or something. There were just times where I felt like I was thrown around a little too much. And then like Gaumer said, then you went all the way to this lacrosse team or whatever.
That meant nothing to me. The lacrosse team, like the people that were on the team building thing, the business trip or whatever, I like that because they didn't have technology. And so it made sense why they're surviving. Whereas the lacrosse team, it made no sense. Sorry.
But I mean, as far as like after it's sorry,
that was very good. He's trained himself well.
Wow,
Age Vanilla.
Let's drop those root beer emojis.
That was not staying. I tried. That was not staying down. No, but in the end, my thought after it was all said and done was wonderful. Another pandemic comic.
Sure.
I mean, how many of those have we had already?
Well, but you did say that this took a unique path to tell a pandemic story. It is breakneck.
I didn't say that. Boogie said that.
Well, whatever. Somebody said it. Damn it. I'm just not. I can't tell if this is good or not yet. I can't.
Yeah.
But is it enough to make you care if it's good or not?
I don't know. I want to know more. I want to know more. So I guess that's a good thing.
Like I read Hidden Society and I was like, I didn't hate this. I didn't love it, but I'm not reading issue 2. And this, I'm like, I can't wait for issue 2.
Yeah, I can't wait, but I do really want to see what's going on. I want to see if they can keep up this pace. I want to see if everything's going to come together and then suddenly slow down. I am interested in how the story is going to play out. But besides a cello boy and his sister, I could care less about everybody else.
Yeah.
And we met so many people.
But I think
So
they're
that's
your main
pulling me back.
characters. That's what you want to see.
If they're the main
them...
characters, I want to see more of them in this issue because they were compelling in this issue. So it's very difficult for me to rate this.
I give it a $3.99 because I loved it, and I don't care what you guys think.
I'm going to give it a $2.99. I have a $1.99/$2.99. This is one of those ones that I would give a $2.50, but I'll give it a $2.99 because it's impossible for me to say I will not read issue 2 because I will. I will definitely read issue 2.
Oh, so you definitely will read it. So does that mean if I have no interest in reading it, that makes me $1.99?
I would say if you're building your score off of mine and my rationale, but I just feel like I'm not smart enough to understand a lot of these Burger books. You know what I mean? The IDW Burger or Dark is it what
Dark
is
Horse.
this? It's Dark Horse. That line. I'm just not sure. I'm
gonna say $2.99. But I don't plan on reading the next. I don't plan on reading.
I think you got to go $1.99. If you go $2.99, to me that means you want to read the second issue.
That means it's good enough.
Yeah,
where you're gonna read it. It doesn't. It may not be perfect where you have to read it.
But I think $3.99 means you love it. $2.99 you're going to stick with it. $1.99 is if you handed it to me, I'd read it. And discount bin is this is garbage.
Yeah,
that's just the way I talk. I would never give a book $2.99 if I wasn't going to read the second issue.
Okay, then
I probably done that about 38 times.
Probably.
I'll have to go.
Go back.
I have to go $1.99. I mean, but there was a lot in this book, and the art was good throughout.
Yeah.
It just, I feel like there's too many of these pandemic, post-apocalyptic, or
but I still like them.
Dystopian books coming out that the story does not hook me.
Yeah.
As to how we got there.
I don't really even care how we got there. I do want to see more about Cello Boy and his sister. I do want to see the twins.
Oscar. His name is Oscar.
But it's like
he's a boy and his name is
almost like you got two different stories. You almost got two different stories.
You got like 7 stories.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot going on. But it's all set in the same thing. And that's what I mean. If this thread is going to line through and all these people are going to join up and then it's going to mean something more, I'm cool with that. I'm also cool with it if it continues this breakneck pacing that it's had and it keeps going on. I just didn't find any of the characters interesting except for Oscar.
So maybe they should have focused on Oscar and his sister.
I think
and the guy who called his wife to get the kids to their grandparents' house. They should have focused on those two things.
I mean, was that Oscar's dad? Or that was a totally different family?
Yeah, that's a totally different family.
Yeah.
Focus on those two sets of people, and then at the end, throw the
lacrosse team,
the lacrosse team off the cliff, and stop it like Dukes of Hazzard as they're going off the cliff. Where are these lacrosse team going to end up? Tune in next issue. But they threw in way more than that.
Again.
They threw in way more than that.
I don't know about you, but I don't think these Duke boys can survive this jump. Yeah. All right, new comic book day, March 4th, 2020. What are you excited about? What are you picking up? What's going to be the book of the week?
I don't know what's on the list.
I'll tell you.
I'm mad at you guys, dude. You guys like Strange Adventures #1.
I didn't vote for that.
I want to read Strange Academy.
Did I vote?
I think you voted for either Mercy or King of Nowhere.
Oh, King of Nowhere.
King of Nowhere. I've already pulled it, dude.
That's W. Maxwell Prince, dude.
Yep.
I pulled the series.
I've read the first 5 pages. It's wonderful. It's very cool.
Ahoy Comics has Billionaire Island #1.
Yes. Oh, we got a copy of that too, by the way.
Yeah. I wish you would tell me that ahead of time. I could put stuff like that on the poll.
Sorry.
If you want to vote on the poll, you got to go to ComicCast. Patreon.com/ComicCastPod. Patreon members vote on the book of the week.
Yeah. Marvel's got a bunch of stuff like Marvel #1, Spider-Man Noir #1, Strange Academy #1.
I'm reading Strange Academy. I'm excited.
You're not interested in Spider-Man Noir #1?
I'm not. I'm just not a fan of the character.
I'll make sure to put it on the list.
He already died once, didn't
Transformers Galaxies #5. Kate Leth and Cohen Edenfield are writing, but Alex Milne, he's one of the handful of Transformers artists, living legends. This is a new arc all about Cliff Jumper. I'm very excited about it. Very excited.
It's a light week for me, man. I don't have a whole lot going on.
We got
I
Flash
need a light week.
750.
I ain't getting that.
Me either. Like
I ain't doing it.
like where DC's at the top when I'm going through the list for book of the week, I thought about that. I was like, nope. Not reading it.
Because all you're reading it for is the 3 pages that are going to matter to continuity. And it may not matter to continuity anymore because DC's got a whole bunch of new people working for them that may not like this. I'm actually excited about Strange Adventures 2, but I
was until I saw Strange Academy and Spider-Man Noir.
What is this
I was
Marvel
way more
number
excited about
1?
that.
What is this? Marvel.
That's up Adam's alley.
Yeah, that's
Oh, is that like Marvel's?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah,
yeah.
There's 4 different Marvel's things. They had in the previews, they had a whole page dedicated to all of the Marvel. Yep, Marvel's number 1, Marvel's X, Marvel snapshots.
Yeah,
and then Marvel.
Yeah, I don't care about any of it.
Yeah, this is an anthology.
Those snapshot covers look great. But they're Alex Ross. Of course they're going to look great.
So this is an anthology of stories.
Those are good
from different people doing characters. So it's I don't know if it's directly tied to Alex Ross's and them. Yeah. I'm mainly interested in the Kurt Busiek stuff.
There's a book called Twin Worlds, number 1, coming out by Rami Al-Ashkar and Jethro Morales. It's on Action Lab. It looks pretty cool. It looks like a fantasy sci-fi sort of crossover, I think. I didn't really read much into it, but it's definitely on my list for books this week.
It looks like it's inspired by the latest Westworld show.
Yeah, that's big show, man. People love that shit. I got HBO for like a month. I should check that out.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a lot of there's a lot of wieners.
We finished.
Are there? I love wieners in my show. Wow. Watchmen. That's the only reason I watch Watchmen.
Can we wrap this up?
Can you like blue wieners?
Yeah, if they're different colored, of course, it's better.
I'm taking over. That's it. That's going to wrap up ComicCast issue number 185. We'll be back next week, every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the S&B Network. If you're new to the channel, make sure you smash the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Next week, we will be joined by the writer of Dead End Kids, Mr. Frank Gogol himself. Come hang out. I'm looking forward to that, dude. That's such a great story.
Dude, Frank is OG from way back in the day. Outright Geekery.
So crazy.
Way back. I know, it's so weird, dude.
Full
so cool.
circle.
Yeah.
Make sure you're here next week, 7 o'clock. It's going to be a fun conversation. Until then, adios, amigos. I got nothing else to say.